It's ArtSnacks time! This is the final actual ArtSnacks box I will be getting. I am going back to a subscription hold. I am not subscribing to anything else. I do have one more Scholar box right here. Not sure what order I'm putting these videos out. And the February Scholar box hasn't shipped yet, so this is one of 3 final boxes that you will be seeing. As per usual with the real ArtSnacks boxes, I'm going to open this. I'm going to react live to what's in it. I don't think I've seen spoilers for this one. I could be wrong. But either way, after we've opened it, after we've taken a look and reacted, I will pause the video, look up what was also included in the plus box, the extra items, and we will no box art box style upgrade this experience to the plus experience. Ready? Let's go. We have a banana flavored Laffy Taffy. That's kind of disappointing. I don't like banana flavored candy. Did you know that if you don't like banana flavored candy, it's because you don't like the Gros Michel species that was prevalent before the 60s, but then the banana plague got to it and they had to switch them, and now all of our bananas in the grocery store are Cavendish. Very cute Valentine's themed sticker. And what have we got? What are the supplies? Ooh. Alright, so I am seeing 2 tubes of koi watercolors. It would be interesting to pull out my koi pan set and compare. We have emerald green, number 26, and lemon yellow, number 22. These are 12 milliliter or 0.406 fluid ounce tubes. There's not a lot of other information on here. I guess you have to go to their website and look things up if you want to know what sort of pigments are in here, that kind of thing. We have a pen from Zebra. Zebra is the only thing on here I can read. Okay, so it's kind of like the Fudinowski pens from Tombow or a PN from Micron. And we have a paintbrush. Princeton Heritage, very nice. Round number 6. I do prefer a round number 6 if I'm only going to use one paintbrush in a watercolor piece, so that's great. Princeton is a great brand. I absolutely love every Princeton brush I have ever received. I've only bought one Princeton brush. Every other Princeton brush has come from subscription boxes. There we go. Such a nice brush. I know that already. Very, very nice. Let's find out what was in the plus. Okay, so the plus box for February 2022. It includes all the same things. I am seeing an asterisk on the Sakura koi watercolor tubes, which means that those colors varied. So it's entirely possible I could have got these colors. It's entirely possible I could have got other colors. Either way, I only would have got 2. It turns out that these 4 items are the only non-surface items, even in the plus box. The plus box sent 2 surface options instead of sending 1 surface and 1 additional marking item. The pen is the Zebra Zensations brush pen. I will read you this card and the additional information about these 2 items while I am swatching. The additional items, there is a Hanamule Agave watercolor paper block, 8.3 by 11.7 inches, which is a standard A4 size, and an ampersand aqua board panel, 8 by 10 inches. So the agave watercolor, this is 290 GSM. That is quite thick. 12 sheets in the pad. It is 70% renewable agave fiber, and the remaining 30% is rag cotton. So it's a very high quality watercolor paper. And cold press, yes. So it'll be very textured, very toothy. The aqua board, this is a textured clay surface for watercolor, and it sounds like probably getting a single board in the box. Alright, so I will be picking a paper to match that agave watercolor paper. I don't have an art board for a watercolor surface unless I went with a mixed media art panel. So yeah, we're gonna go with the watercolor paper. Hold on just a sec. So since this paper, the agave, is agave fiber and rag cotton, I figured doing a typical wood pulp paper just would not serve. So I am going to use some of my tried and true B Paper Company rag cotton watercolor paper. This is pre-cut at 6x9, so it's roughly half of the agave sheet, and frankly, a page that big, I would have cut it down for the quick little experiment that we do in this video. So that's fine. This is 100% rag cotton, it is cold press, and it is 300 GSM, so 10 GSM heavier. Very, very close. Let's go ahead and swatch, and I will read the cards to you as we go. The February 2022 ArtSnacks menu card starts out with a riddle, as they all do. Why did the artist become a detective? The answer? He was great at drawing conclusions. So, the regular tier items, we have the Princeton brush, 2 Sakura Koi watercolor tubes, and a Zebra Zensations brush. Princeton Heritage Series 4050 synthetic Sable brush, round size 6. Retail price is $14.55 US. As per usual with all of my art boxes, I will be reading to you the MSRP, the manufacturer's suggested retail price. ArtSnacks is American, so these are prices in US dollars. In the description box down below, I will have all of this listed. I will have that MSRP converted to Canadian dollars and pounds sterling. I will also go ahead and do some research. I will look up what these items cost individually on major online retailers for all 3 currency regions. So for example, I will be looking at Blick for the USA, I will be looking at Curry's for Canada, and I will be looking at Jackson's for the UK. I do look elsewhere if I can't find them on those, but those are my first stops. We will look at what those actually cost at those stores at this time at their sale price, and we will compare the MSRP total value of the box to the real world shopping total. I will have subscription costs down below, and I will do the calculations. What are your savings based on MSRP, based on real world, depending on where you're subscribing from and how long you're subscribing for. Anyway, back to it. Princeton Heritage Series brush. Introduced more than 25 years ago, the Heritage brush was Princeton's first synthetic sable brush offered to artists. With a perfect blend of golden Taklon in various diameters, this brush can hold a hefty paint load and has terrific spring. It was made for watercolor painting, so it'll work wonderfully with your new koi paints. 2 Sakura Koi watercolor tubes. MSRP is $3.49 each US. I will have the total for 2 in the description box as well. This is marked as staff favorite. Achieves smooth, subtle gradations with koi watercolors from Sakura. These vibrantly pigmented paints respond to water instantly, performing well when applied to wet or dry paper. They spread easily and evenly, creating beautiful washes and edges. Experiment with layering and blending your new colors. You'll find they dry quickly. And finally, in the regular tier, we have the Zebra Zensations brush pen. MSRP is $2.58 US. This brush pen is sensational. A great tool for both calligraphy and illustration, the Zebra Zensations brush pen delivers deep black color in varying line widths depending on applied pressure. The pigment ink is water resistant, not completely waterproof, and archival, so your work will last for years to come. For the added items for the Plus box, I am going to read directly off the ArtSnacks shop website. Keep in mind that unless they're running a sale, they sell for the MSRP, so we're going to take the listed prices on their shop as MSRP. Hanamule Agave watercolor paper block. MSRP is $24.92 US. Get ready for a new paper experience. Hanamule Agave is an eco-friendly and vegan cold-pressed watercolor paper made from 70% renewable agave fiber and 30% cotton rag. It features a smooth, stiff surface texture that's suitable for all watercolor techniques. Your brush will glide effortlessly across this unique 290 GSM surface, making big washes or glazing techniques easy to achieve. This block contains 12 sheets of paper. Please note, the block is glued on all 4 sides to make sure the paper does not curl when wet. To remove a sheet, insert a palette knife into the unglued opening on the top edge and move it gently across. Size is 8.3 by 11.7 inches, which is standard A4. Ampersand Aquaboard panel. MSRP is $10.76 US. Show your true colors with the Ampersand Aquaboard panel, a textured clay surface designed for watercolor. Colors stay pure and vibrant in a way even the finest watercolor papers can't match. You don't have to worry about buckling or tearing with this panel, which means you can endlessly glaze and lift to underlying colors without damage. Unlike paper, the archival Aquaboard can be framed and displayed without glass. Size 8 inches by 10 inches. And this is for a single panel. Alright, so I am slightly behind the video right now with the voiceover. I am speaking to you having just done the swatching part that you probably already watched. So once again, My tube colors, my brand new Sakura Koi watercolors, are emerald green and lemon yellow. They are beautiful. They do go down very, very nicely. They do dilute nicely. They do appear to be somewhat opaque over a black line. The green more than the yellow. That's okay. They do mix to make a very nice yellow green. Unsurprising. The Zebra Zensations pen is very nice. I would definitely compare it to the Fudenosuke pen by Tombow, as I already mentioned. And it is, as promised, water resistant, not waterproof. When I put it down fresh and went over it with water right away, it did bleed a little bit of gray, but you could still tell very much where I put the ink down. And you could do that intentionally for effect if you want to. You could also let it dry a lot longer and then it would react a lot less. As I mentioned in the unboxing part, I did want to compare to my Sakura Koi half pans. I have the 24 pack of the field set. So I had to do some looking up to find out what colors are actually in my field set. It's not labeled in the packaging anywhere. So I don't have the same green. This has yellow green, which apparently is also called permanent green pale. There's viridian hue and there's permanent green deep. The color I was able to mix between these two tubes does look very similar to the yellow-green in the pan set. In the pan set, I do have lemon yellow, and I also have aureoline hue, which is a nice, warmer, kind of a gamboge kind of cadmium yellow. Comparing the tube lemon yellow to the half pan lemon yellow, the tube yellow is warmer. The lemon yellow almost has a bit of a green quality to it, whereas the tube is a very pure, very warm yellow. Not as warm and bright as the aureoline yellow from the pan set. It is truly a lemon shade, but it feels brighter, it feels pure. I have been trying to find pigment information on the Sakura Koi watercolors. If you know, leave it in the comments down below. Tell me where you can find that information. But I have had no luck, so I don't know if these new Sakura Koi tubes are the same pigments as the 4-year-old pan set I have. I would be very curious because, like I said, that lemon yellow is not looking the same. If I had a spare half pan, I would actually put some of this yellow into a pan, let it dry down, and get back to you in a couple of days. It's possible this is one of those paints that just looks different when you re-wet it. But either way, let's get into whatever piece I'm doing, and I will give my final opinion at the end. Okay, Jenna of the future here. I have completed the piece. Actually, spoiler alert, I have completed both pieces you're going to see this week now. I ended up using the Princeton in both this box, the box you are watching today, and the box you are going to see on Friday. I am very impressed with this brush. I will note that there does seem to be one particularly long hair right in the center. It was getting a little bit annoying. I may give it a trim, but overall, excellent brush. The Zebra pen, also excellent art supply. As I demonstrated in the swatching part, it is somewhat water soluble if you get to it right away, but then it's permanent afterwards. So I did a combination of laying the ink down directly on the paper to get the blackest blacks, and then putting some on my ceramic plate, picking it up and getting more grays, more varied tone. I did that both before and after the watercolor for a very layered, deep effect. In terms of the watercolor, they are very pigmented, they are very smooth, they are very easy to wet down and work with. I did actually let the first drops dry on the plate and left them for a couple of days, and based on how they reacted as I was trying to clean the plate off, I do think that they would re-wet very well if you chose to put these in pans. In terms of laydown on the page, I'm not as impressed with these paints, and again, that doesn't surprise me. I do have the pan set, the travel box, and they have always felt a little more childish, a little more student in quality. The pans feel very chalky to me. This doesn't go down looking chalky, but it goes down uneven, it goes down streaky. There's some effects in here that look a little bit more like poor technique with gouache than watercolor blooming cauliflower patterns. As a practice paint, as something to get used to, I think that they're excellent. As something to give to a child, I think they're great. As something for a professional artist, I don't think I would recommend the Koi watercolors. Overall though, I do like the piece I was able to create. I ended up using Derwent watercolor paper from an old scrawler box. It does mask off well, it respects the borders of the tape, and it layers well. I was able to create different values and different tones by layering. Overall, this was a very fun box. I do wish that we had got higher quality paint, especially since the Plus upgrade didn't provide any additional paints or pens or anything like that, only surfaces. That was a little bit disappointing. If you got this box for real, tell me what you thought of it, and if you didn't, what's your impression? Is this a box you're sorry you missed out on or not? Have you used Sakura koi watercolors before, in the tubes, in the pans, both, neither? Let's talk about them down below. What are your impressions of the Sakura koi watercolors? I will be back at you on Friday with a scrawler box unboxing and demonstration, and next week in March we will be doing the March Fandom Mayhem collaboration with Weblight Dreams for the 3rd year in a row, every Wednesday in March. So we've got 5 episodes coming up. Every episode we will do fan art based on a different common fandom that we have previously agreed on. The second week, the 9th, is going to be the colors of the month for March, but the rest of them will all be No Box Art Box challenges combined with the March Fandom Mayhem themes. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, and yeah, my March schedule is pretty much writing itself. I only have a couple of Friday videos to fill for the month, so that is great. I feel like I'm gonna get ahead this month, which could be really good for the channel. I could actually have time to launch some other projects, or maybe do some bonuses, get back into shorts, that kind of thing. We'll see. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!